Hi, it's Kimberly Sohn. Thanks for checking out my video. As I was getting ready today, I was putting on this camel sweater and I thought to myself, so often I get inspired by what color clothes I'm gonna wear and work that into my makeup. So I thought it might be fun to show each of you who are tuning in how to create a soft taupe, sort of warm camel smoky eye. And I've done my full face of makeup and I pulled together some shadows. So if you take a look here, you can see they're all Bobbi Brown products. You've got a white, an awesome color called Camel, and a birch eyeshadow, a rich brown, a champagne quartz, which has a bit of a shimmer. So even for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, I will not wear shimmer, I'm gonna show you the look, how to do it with all mattes minus the shimmer, and then you can add a pop of the shimmer in, and then my go-to pale pink blush at the end. I did throw a little bit on my cheeks because I am a blush fairy and I always like to have a little bit of blush. I have beige lip color on, which is number 2 in Bobbi Brown's original lip formula. And I actually used gray eyeshadow in my brow. I did have a quick coat of mascara on from earlier today because I was running around town. So let's get started. Okay, first product is Longwear Cream Shadow. As you know, I love, love, love Longwear Cream Shadow. Why? Because I can apply it with my fingers. Fingers are our favorite tools. And because you can apply the cream product with your fingers, you get a really, really sheer layer of color. And that way it's not going to look too thick and add texture to my eyelid. I bring the Longwear Cream Shadow right along the crease and then all the way up to the brow. And you can see right away, oh my gosh, it's like pops, it's whiter, it's brighter. It comes in so many tones. You want to find the shade that is the color of your brow bone, maybe a little bit lighter. So for me right now in the winter, I'm a bone. You might go for a shore color, which is awesome. There's even a malted. There's cream shadow sticks too. So let's get started. What color do you go for first? What color you want to grab is in fact a eyeshadow color that looks like a soft neutral shade. So I'm going to go here with my birch shadow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply with the angled eyeshadow brush a soft line across my whole lower lid. And you can see here, I'm going back and I'm tapping and patting it right in along the lash line so that I get a nice, thick, opaque, dense line of color. So I'm just gonna do that to the other side. And I don't spend too much time on detail. You do have to make sure, do you see how far out I came onto the edge of the eye? Make sure that you come out to the fullest extent of your lash line, right out to that corner. You see there? It almost looks like it's a funny blip. And don't worry about it sitting there right now because we'll blend it out a little bit later. A good trick too is you can see with the end of your nose to the end of your brow that nothing will fall below there and all my eyeshadow is gonna go in from the brush out like inwards. And then that way I'm gonna get this beautiful sort of almond shaped eye, and it's gonna actually make my eyes look a little bit further apart and a little bit more almond shape, which is what I need. So now using the same brush, I'm going to, without any more product, I'm going to take that color and just blend back and forth now in the crease. One of the biggest tips I could teach every one of you is apply your crease color with your eye open. Especially as we get older and our eyelids start to droop, we want to make sure that we're applying crease color where there is a crease versus trying to fake out a crease. If you fake out a crease and then you open up your eyes, sometimes you're surprised and your crease is like way up here and then it is just not good. So promise me when you're trying to create a crease, go open up your eyes, start where you can feel the brow bone meet your eyelid, and then blend back and forth like a little windshield wiper. So now I've got this soft haze of color. And again, you see here, I'm not sure how far out I want to go, but I've got a nice wash of color from the lash. It's denser along the lash line, and I've brought it up into the crease. So where are we going to go to next? I'm actually going to drop down the shadows, and I am going to show you what we're going to go to. I just have to pull out into my drawer here. I'm going to go for black gel liner. So for those of you who are thinking, black is way too much, I would never go to black even if I was going out, then grab an espresso, a sepia, which are softer browns, even a caviar. Caviar is a mix of a brown and a black. I go for black when I'm doing any type of colored smoky eye. And I'm gonna take that black gel liner, going right under the lash line, because you want the most dense color and the blackest of black lash line. So no matter, whoops, just poked myself a little bit, just keep blinking. And just, you want, I guess the biggest thing is that you want to have as much density of darkness along the lash line. So right up into the base of the root of the lash. And even just that is pretty, it's soft, it's smoky. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna take my ultrafine eyeliner brush. I put product, can you see, right on both sides of the brush. And I'm gonna pull my eye just a gentle amount. And now I'm gonna do a soft line across the whole lash line. Don't wanna stop halfway, no matter what eye shape you have. You can create a really thin line if you have a smaller, deeper set eye, or if you want it to be really soft and not as dramatic. But you can see just by creating a line, and I promise you this longwear gel eyeliner in black, any of the colors, it's so easy and malleable. I always describe it almost as if it's like cold butter. I always relate everything to food. And so it's really easy to apply. And I do suggest getting it with the brush. The brush does help make it easier to apply versus another one. So you can see here, I've brought the liner again way out the edge of the corner. And by pulling my eye just a little bit, I know that I'm taking it to the fullest extent of the eye shape that I can. I'm not worrying too much about the eye shape, or, you know, the liner's the same thickness, you know, are they smooth? Because I think over the years, being a working mom, being super finite on some of those details, I don't have time. So I've come up with these little tips and tricks, and that's, I think, my biggest thing that I want to share with each one of you is how to, you know, have fun, smile through all this beauty, and feel good, and know that it's kind of easy. So this camel here, it looks a little scary, but it is so gorgeous. I'm going to grab a little bit of this camel, and I'm going to take it along the lash line, just along the top half, and apply it there. And you can see how it just adds that gorgeous pump of color. So I'm not going over the eyeliner. I'm just using the eyeliner shape as a guide as to where to put the camel. Do you see that little change in light? Isn't that weird? Crazy. So I've taken the camel. Look at that, so pretty. And you can see up until now, I haven't put anything along my bottom lash line, which I am gonna do. So I'm gonna go down using the same brush. And sorry if I didn't mention this brush to you earlier. This is the Smokey eyeliner brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of this rich brown, and looking in the mirror, I'm going to start at the outer corner, and I'm going to take the rich brown and come across the whole lower lash line and bring it right out to that outer corner. Do you see that? Right? See the difference? So it's just rich brown with the Smokey eyeliner brush. And again, you're starting on that outside corner. And I'm noticing I'm getting a little bit of fall down, but I don't worry about that in the middle of the application. I did put some concealer on before I started the video because I am feeling tired up at 5 a.m., as I am. So I'm sure many of you are, but I wanted to put a little bit of concealer on. So you can do this look without concealer first and then finish with concealer. And I'll show you, I can touch it up. So there you can see I've started to build out the shape myself, and I'm sure many of you see this in yourself or you have questions about this, but one eye might be bigger than the other. So for me, I sleep like this on this whole side of my face. So I find this whole side of my face is a little more squished and up. This side of my face is a little bit bigger. So what I'm gonna wanna do is also make sure when I step back and pull out of the mirror, which you wanna do every once in a while, is make sure that this eye actually has a little bit more makeup on it. So I'm just going back in and making sure that the liner on the bottom here on my left eye is a little bit thicker. So with this rich brown, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take some of the rich brown and I'm going to blend that black ink liner and the Camel together. What's so great, we call this sort of double lining because you're smudging a shadow with the gel liner and it diffuses it together. So it's almost like a layering effect. And again, I'm just taking the rich brown and taking it along the top of the black ink liner. And I am kind of going on top of the black ink liner. And you're still seeing that pop of Camel come out, which is pretty. There you go, pretty, pretty. So what is missing is to help sort of blend all the colors together. So you can either choose, if you want to go super rich and dramatic, go with your darker rich brown shade. Remember we started off with that base birch shade all over. So I know that that sort of helped me create my shape, which I'm going to skip to, or I could go to the Camel. I'm going to be a little adventurous and I'm going to try for this Camel shade. And I'm going to start with my crease. Again, I always teach off of the arch of the brow. Do you see there? Right there. And then I'm going to blend the color back and forth. I think because I have this Camel sweater on, I'm just so inspired to play with the Camel. Now don't worry too much about blending, see this crease color into the brow bone shade. I'm going to show you a little trick I learned along the way. I am very heavy-handed of a makeup artist, i.e. I love a lot. So if you're finding that you're not getting enough on, you're not seeing enough, go for a little bit more. One thing I've learned about makeup is that it comes off. So I'm taking now the little bit of this Camel on top. Remember we had that rich brown on the bottom? And I'm just creating a haze along the bottom lash line. Pretty. Ooh, but do you see how by adding color into the crease versus here, it makes this eye open, bigger, opens it up. So that's a great tip if you're wondering how do I open up my eyes, you want to add color into the crease. You don't want it to always be too dark, but definitely getting color into the crease will help. So again, we're looking at the arch point of my brow bone and I just did a softer defined brow. I didn't go for overly ornate, which I will show you in the future. So again, I started here off the arch, right into the crease. My eye is open, blending it back and forth. And I find just gently pulling on the skin helps me so I can create that almond-shaped eye, which I am always trying to achieve because I have bigger, rounder eyes, and I'm trying to help my eyes sort of lift up and out, which ultimately is sort of the goal of everyone's eye makeup. It's so that you don't feel like you have as deep set eyes and that they're feeling lifted. So there you can see again, like not all the edges are blended, but I'm not too worried about it. And here I'm just gonna bring the color out a little bit further. So you can see I have not gone back and gotten more product onto my brush. This Camel eyeshadow is so beautiful and it's blending actually with that rich brown that was on my eyelid and on the eyeliner. So here I'm just blending it out. And I know my stop points are gonna be where the end of my eyebrow is to the end here of my eyeshadow. You could in fact draw an entire line. So let's now keep blending. Honestly, I promise one of the biggest tips if you could learn is blend, blend, blend. I'm I'm gonna now take a little bit of white. There's ivory tones, there's soft shell tones. I'm using white again because I am more fair right now. And I'm going to take this white and I'm gonna blend it with a new brush, the Eye Sweet brush. And I only ever use this brush with an all over base color. And it almost is like a sweeper, a blender, a duster. And it really helps to diffuse the shadows, especially when I'm trying to transition and diffuse color from my crease into my brow bone. I'm taking the Eye Sweet brush right up over the crease, and I always find I take and pull my eyelid in. So you can see here, can you see the difference? This side's blended, and this side's not. Blended, not blended. So I'm gonna go back in, grab some of the white shadow here from my customizable Bobbi Brown palette. And I'm going to take the color and blend that on my brow bone on top of the crease color and sweeping. And there's quite a bit of pressure. Like I'm blend, 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 sweeping, pressing, and helping to diffuse it. And again, I'm going to pull inwards because I want that bottom liner to be nice and diffused. And it always helps to gauge that, see how my liner, just brushing a few hairs up, is the eye shape is going out. You see how I can bring down my eyebrow, bring out the eyeshadow, and it looks angled, lifted, and it all is aligned. Now, what is that? Who knows? It's probably a little bit of eyeshadow because I get messy when I do a little bit of makeup, and I'm not gonna cut this out of my video because this is called real life. So what do? Don't panic. Wait a minute. And just come right back and just take a cotton pad and blend. If you get a really big goof or mess up, can I tell you one of the best tips is whatever brush you use to apply your foundation, take whatever foundation is left on your brush and then just diffuse and blend it that way. See, look at that. All right, it's perfect. So now I'm gonna go in for the Vavavoom mascara, and this is my eye-opening mascara. Even if you did have mascara on during the day and you're going back on, please always put mascara back on top because a lot of times the eyeshadow is gonna sit on top of your lashes and then your lashes look not as crisp and defined and full. This eye-opening mascara is awesome because it actually has a curling agent in it. So it helps to curl and lift up your lashes. It's definitely for not the faint of heart, and you really have to love mascara. But if you've been looking for mascara and you can't find one and you feel like your lashes are there and need to be discovered, then try this eye-opening mascara. I'm gonna swish a little bit on the bottom because again, wherever there's eyeliner, I think it's pretty and a nice way to show a completed look by having a little bit of mascara. You don't want spider legs, so you can use a different formula. Keeping it quick and easy. And that's all that I'm gonna do for matte eyeshadow for a soft brown look. I can see here when I'm looking in the camera, there is like a little clump there. I'm just taking my concealer brush and blending it out just to help diffuse it. See there? I love having my concealer brush on hand, my eyeliner brush on hand, my foundation brush on hand. Concealer and foundation brush especially for cleaning up any messes along the way, smoothing out any lines. It's almost like a little eraser here. See how I can pull, make sure that it's nice and angled. My foundation brush, if I see that my blush isn't blended, I can easily blend it. So this is an all matte eye look. For those of you who want to add a little bit of shimmer, an amazing color to have for like honestly 99.9% of all skin tones and eyes is this Champagne Quartz eyeshadow color. Now Champagne Quartz eyeshadow is a soft peachy golden pink and it's just beautiful. I am going to grab a touch-up brush. It's a cleaner brush that you could use just even an eyeshadow brush. And all I'm gonna do for tonight's look is add a little bit into my inner corner to help open up and give that little bit of sultry prettiness to my taupe chocolate camel smoky eye. Little trick that I learned along the way is, in fact, you could take a little bit of your shimmer shadow, and trust me, I have every glow product in the book, but this is a great thing if you're going out at night and you wanted to have just a couple of things in your clutch. Grab your shimmer shadow. You can always touch up, you know, in the powder room, in the inner corner of your eyes, and you can always use it to add a little bit of a glow. It's so pretty. You see that? Ooh, I don't know why I'm whispering, but it just makes me feel more sultry and pretty. Oh, look, look, look. Ooh, pretty. And bridge of the nose, not too much. Okay, done. Okay, so that is an eye look. I was inspired by this camel sweater, as I'm often inspired by what I'm wearing, as I'm sure you are. And this is just one of many looks to come to show you a taupe chocolate camel soft smoky eye. And I look forward to sharing lots more with you. Look down below for all the details, products used. Please subscribe, and big hugs and kisses. Thanks for watching. Mwah.